the shark, lurking in the dark of the depths of the sea. One day on a lark decides to get rowdy, get real violent. Takes a vacay up to Amity Island. Sunshine, lotion, fun in the sun, blood in the ocean. Everybody run, cause it's crazy how few fucks this shark gives. He'll eat naked ladies, he'll eat little kids, oh no. Keeping the community safe is a guy named Brody and his pal Richard Dreyfuss. Jaws don't know that a storm's gonna come. He just wants everyone to be his chum. Get it? Get it? The mayor don't care if the townsfolk die. He doesn't want to spoil the 4th of July. He's like, everyone cool it and go for a swim. But holy shit, here comes that fin singing Jaws is here. Here is Jaws. He is the shark without a cause. He was in a movie, you should watch it, it's called Jaws. Jaws is here. Here is Jaws. He is the shark who fights the law. He was in a movie that everyone saw. Long story short, the beach gets closed. The mayor's like, okay, yeah, this blows. Suddenly Jaws has got a price on his head, but the wrong little shark baby ends up dead. It was Jaws' little brother. Now he's pissed. The mayor just shot to the top of his list. He sneaks in his house in the middle of the night, and he eats that fucker in a single bite. Golly. Dead, so Brody's in charge. He knows the real killer is still at large. So he and the Dreyfuss make a decision. They're going on a mission. They're gonna go fishing for Jaws. A man named Quint lets him use his boat on the condition that he'd be the one to cut Jaws' throat, cause he was a sailor back in World War II, and Jaws ate his entire crew. Whoa, Jaws is here. Here is Jaws. He is a shark without a cause. He was in a movie called Jaws. Jaws is here. Here is Jaws. Oh, oh, oh. He is a shark who fights the law. He was in a movie that everyone saw. They're out on the sea. They wait all night. Where could Jaws be? He's nowhere in sight. Dreyfuss decides to go down in a cage, and Jaws shows up in a full-on rage. He tears up the cage like paper in a shredder, while Dreyfuss makes his wetsuit wetter. He hides behind a rock like a cowardly prick, and he doesn't come back until the end of the flick. Brody's like, we're gonna need a bigger boat, so they go back home and get a bigger boat. The biggest boat that's ever sailed, gonna kick Jaws' ass, or I guess his tail. Yeah, his tail. But oh my shit, Jaws jumps out and Quint gets bit right in half like a Kit Kat bar. Up in the sky, there's a shooting star. That's Quint. Up in heaven, he's a star now. Brody's angry, he's all like, fuck it. He takes a harpoon and welds it to a rocket. Jaws' last words are, whoa, respect. Then he explodes and it's a pretty good effect. Yeah, Jaws is dead. Long live Jaws. He was a shark without a cause. He was in a movie, you should watch it, it's called Jaws. Jaws is dead. Long live Jaws. He was a shark who fought the law. He was in a movie that everyone saw. He was in a movie that everyone saw. Jaws is dead. Long live Jaws. He was a shark without a cause. He was in a movie called Jaws. Jaws is dead. At the Academy Awards. Long live Jaws. He was robbed. He was a shark without a cause. Sharks exist in real life. Whoa. He was in a movie that everyone saw. Jaws is dead. Long live Jaws.
Okay. Well, hi everyone. If I'm quiet, I'm sorry. Actually, I'm sorry if I'm quiet. I'm looking away from the mic. Ha ha ha. So I couldn't tell at that moment. Okay. I'm just like checking. My mic is at full. Maybe I need to change the setting. Cause it like isn't going as high as it normally does. So we'll change some stuff. Okay, maybe that's better. But hi everyone. I'm not in a VC, so you guys can't see me. Surprisingly, hi! Welcome to the stream! Surprisingly, you know what happened? The Discord notification came out before Jaws even finished. Yes, that is true. And look, guys. Look! I have my little Halloween VTuber. and the mouth moves. It's not sad or happy, it's just changing, opening and closing its mouth. But yes, it is Origins Cherry. I was thinking of testing that out. But yes, no face cam today. My jaw still hurts a lot. For those of you who don't know, who haven't seen the Discord, Sunday I had slept most of the day. So normally I wake up pretty early. I wake up at like 7, right? Well, Sunday I woke up at 7, but I was still so tired because I went to sleep at 2 in the morning. So I was like, you know what? Why not fall back asleep? So I did. However, and I don't do this all the time because I know that I've mentioned before how when I sleep on top of my arm, like with my arm underneath my head, that it ends up going numb, that I can't move it anymore. So I just tried to stop doing that. But this time I was so tired that I didn't register that I did that. However, because I wasn't sleeping on the couch, I was sleeping on my actual bed, my arm didn't go numb. But you know what did happen? I moved my jaw. So I woke up with my jaw hurting. And I was like, okay, it's not that bad. Like, I've had this happen before, especially because I clenched my teeth. And I used to grind my teeth when I was younger, so my jaw locking and my jaw moving was something I've experienced. But it's been a while. But then I sneezed. And I sneezed so hard my mouth closed, and I bit really hard, and it made it worse. I was in so much pain. I could not talk. Luckily, I ended up putting ice on it for a while, and like before I went to sleep, and then when I woke up, I put ice on it again. I could not close my mouth after I bit. Like, I tried to eat some food, it hurt to try and chew, even if I was chewing on the opposite side. So I ended up making myself oatmeal or coffee or like hot chocolate to drink so I could eat, so I wasn't hungry still, but I still like could eat, you know? And so the next day, it was a little better. I could eat a little bit better. I had oatmeal. I again put ice. And then later in the day, yesterday, I had art class, so I went to class. And then I was like, you know what? My roommate the other day had pizza and wings, and I've been craving wings. So I went to go buy some chicken dinosaur nuggets, wings, and fries. And so I made them all in my oven. I got the boneless wings, because they're soft enough that I could bite into all of those foods, get full, and not have to worry. I was able to chew normally, and today I could chew with the other side. It still hurt a little bit, but I could chew if I chewed slowly. So hopefully, I'm hoping by the time the weekend comes, I feel a lot better, that it's completely gone, because it's my abuelita's birthday, and I wanna be able to eat. I wanna be able to eat Oaxacan food. But yeah, and on that note, let's get down to business. So, there's a couple fan arts that I want to go through, that I want to kind of, go over, that I've done. So these I did like 2 years ago. This one probably 3 years ago. 3 or 4 years ago. Probably 4 years ago. This might have been 4 years ago. Because, this was when they performed, Tear. This photo, the reference photo. So this is supposed to be J-Hope. Right? This is an RB Bomb wallpaper that I had made. This one I really liked how it came out, but I do want to fix it. So this is actually the fan art that I saw that I was like, you know what? I kind of want to redo it. I like how it came out, but I feel like I could make it better. You know? Like, I can fix it. And then this one also, it's just really bad. And then this one is really cool. I just don't like that I use the airbrush tool. Like, I think it looks really cool. The wings do kind of look weird if you look up close to them. I like the background. The background is my favorite thing, honestly. Like, that background, perfect. And this was back when I still had this account. Back when I still had this, Instagram. Which is private now, you guys can't look back at that, but I can. This one, the face, I want to fix it, because it, like, the nose makes it seem like his head is tilted back, but this makes it seem like it's not. But yeah. Also, like, his tattoos weren't that bad, but they're still kind of weird. And then the shading is just weird in general. And this one, the face throws me. I messed up the face. I think I made his face too long. And then just the shading, it kind of does look like I use, the airbrush tool. So yeah, so I want to fix that. But yeah, so, where is it? This one, I actually printed this one out and I have it on my wall. But I was looking at it and I was like, you know what? I could do better. So, this, where is it? These two. These two are based on army bombs. I think this is the old design. No, I think they're both based on the same army bomb design. But I made both wallpapers. This was after We Are Bulletproof Eternal was released, and this one was way before that. I know because I think I saw a tweet that I made where I was like, oh, referencing We Are Bulletproof Eternal, the music video. Also, look at how that line right there is not good. That is not good. I referenced it and I was like, oh, this music video reminds me of my wallpaper that I did. Yeah, but like, the army bomb handle is kind of bland. And then this one, the shading, the coloring is kind of bad. The face shape, like that was back when I used to put lines all over. Like, yeah. And for reference, if you guys want to know like how my art looks now, what's my most recent finished art piece? I mean, this is my most recent BTS art piece, which I think I did a year ago. This is my most recent, which, and I mentioned this a couple times, the first version of this was technically, it was the second version, because the first version was disgusting, and I ended up redoing it a year later. But, this is the final version, but the second version of this fan art was actually featured in a Solar Sands video, and was, the thumbnail. So if you ever search up Solar Sands and you see a worse version of this as the thumbnail, that was my art. Which I was looking at the comments today, just for old time's sake, and a lot of people were talking, it was the usual like, oh, I saw BTS so I clicked. But I saw a lot of people were like, oh, how could you critique something that's so clearly traced? Which I'll admit, I did trace the outline. I like the sketch that I did for it, I did trace it. My line work wasn't traced straight, like I didn't straight off do the line work from the reference, but I traced this. I don't know. Here, I'll show you what I mean. So like, let's say this was the photo, right? Let's say this was the photo. So I didn't just like go like this and be like, oh, that's my line work. No, I kind of more, it was more like this. This was kind of more like what I did. Where yeah, I still like traced, but it was still kind of rough. And then when I went in and I traced that, or I did the line work for that. Kind of like that, you know? That's what I did. I didn't like I still traced. Which, honestly, there's nothing wrong with tracing references and stuff, as long as you admit it. Because, it did help me learn. I think this one, all I did, because I still, this face, like the way he has his face, I still struggle to draw it. I've practiced a lot more, but it's just, I can't, it's just weird So I think I did have the reference underneath, and I fixed I like drew the eyes and everything by myself, but then I just moved them to where the eyes were supposed to be. That was all I did. Because I ended up, this eye was way too low. I think it was like over here. And then I like put the reference underneath it. I was like, oh, the eye has to be higher, so I moved it higher. But that was like about it. And I think like the same with this. I either kept making it too round, or I kept cutting it too short, or I kept it didn't look right, so I used the reference to help me. Which that was it. Like everything else I did myself. And like the coloring and everything. But like when I submitted that art piece for critique, which let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find the art piece. When I submitted that art piece for critiquing, I didn't submit it for the line work. I submitted it for the coloring. That was why I did that. Oh my gosh, my old DeviantArt. I have not uploaded on DeviantArt since wow. This is the second art piece. January 22nd, 2021 was the last time I uploaded something on DeviantArt. And it was an art piece I did on stream. Let's look at the BTS Fanart section. Why is it so short? Why do they just not? Okay. We'll do that. So this was the art piece that got featured in the thumbnail. And even the background, you could see it, it's like way different. Like, look how different those backgrounds are. And the colors too. The colors are way more vibrant in this one compared to this one. Like that hair is all pale and he looks very pale, and there's just no hues. But with this one, there's like a lot more colors. I still do this to this day. But because my character is faceless, you guys don't often see that. But if you pay attention to my Ronbu fan art, what's the most recent one? This one? You can still see I still do that, like, blush. I don't know why I do that. I think one of the things he mentioned was that there needed to be more range of colors, and especially more reddish hues, because I kind of didn't really do that. I just the shadowing was more grayish comparing to this one, where you could see the shadows more purpley reddish, while this one, it looks very dead and grayish. That was something that Solar Sands had said. He said, oh, it's good to have like a range of colors, so it's not just, it doesn't look like you shaded with black almost. And that was also something that a lot of artists said, to use like reds and purples. And so I just kind of started adding blush just as like a little thing I do. So and even if you guys were to watch when I do art and stuff, which I haven't done in a long time, but I mainly like add blush here to the nose, to the cheeks. I even do this with my own makeup. That is actually something I do with my makeup, where I do a lot of blush here, blush on the ears. Yes, KJ, we are doing art. I know, crazy. I'm just going over it because, you know, I have to mention the fact that this art piece was on a Solar Sands video, and that this was the redraw like a year ago. This is like my art a year ago. Guess how bad it got. Can you imagine how downgraded it went? No, I did end up taking a break from art, and I'm not working on art as much as I used to. Despite being an art major, I am doing a lot more traditional mediums compared to digital. But I'm talking about how I do this blush thing. Like, I mean, look at this compared to this. Like, we can... Oh, you guys can't see that. Never mind. But look at the difference. Wait, what if I were to put it here? Can you guys see that? Yes, you can. Look at that. Side-by-side comparison. Let's see. Side-by-side comparison. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? But I know, it's so crazy. I even like, I don't know, a lot better, right? But yeah, a lot of people are like, oh, like how could you critique something that's obviously traced? And I was like, okay, yeah, I did kind of trace it, but like, I wanted more critique on like my coloring compared to like the fact that it, like this line work, basically. I wanted critique on how I can better my colors compared to how I could better my line art. So yeah, but like, I mean, look at it. I definitely improved in my coloring, and even my line work. My line work improved too. But yeah, like, look at this ear. Look at this ear compared to this ear. Like, the detail I put into this and the shading, it's just, you know? But yeah, so that's kind of something I want to do today. I want to go over a lot of my art, and because this one's better, but I still want to go over like my old art and be like, okay, so this is where I messed up, and this is how we're gonna fix it. So should we start off with the figures or the army bombs? I think the figures, because the army bombs don't really, and I'm not saying what you guys think I'm saying, but that's just the name of these little guys, because they're bulletproof Boy Scouts. But yeah, I don't know, I feel like this one's kind of not vibrant compared to this one. But look at the whale. Look at the whale. The whale gets pixelated the closer you zoom in. But yeah, I think this concept was really cool. I just do want, I think the water especially, it kind of looks funky with the whale. Like, it kind of cuts off right here. And I think I want to make the water like spill out more. And the army bomb too, it kind of like, it's kind of broken weirdly. There's just not much going on at the bottom. It's just a block of black color. And then this isn't even properly blended. I posted this and nobody mentioned that this wasn't blended properly. Oh my gosh. I can't believe it. Also, you guys can hear me correctly, right? The music's not too loud. I'm sorry, I just realized I've been ranting. But yeah. And then this... Okay, so I think... Let's start off with the oldest piece. I'm good? Okay, so let's put these all in order. I'm pretty sure this one came after... Okay, so this was definitely like the newest. That's not what I meant to do. Okay, so this one. This art piece. What is wrong with it? What is not wrong with it? Let's pull up the reference. Let's see if we can find the reference. So J-Hope, Tier, Dior, outfits. Is this a picture? No, it is not. Is this a picture? No, but we are close. I actually do think I redrew this. Now that I'm thinking about it, I feel like I did. Here, I'll share my screen so you guys can see what I'm looking at. So you guys can help me search as well. Let's bring it over here. Here you go. Here you go. If you guys see the picture, let me know. I feel like it's this one. But I can't. No, because he's not smiling. He's like... Is it this one? No, because this one's too side profile. And the reason there's green fire... Did you see it? The reason there's green fire is because during the performance, like during the screen, you could see they put like fire. Yeah. They put fire. No! My friend. So we've been wanting to meet up with my friend because she's an RA, and we've been wanting to meet up, but she's not free until this Thursday at 7, and I'm leaving I'm leaving home to Thursday. Ah! Damn. I'll tell my other friends so that they can meet up. What was I looking for? Oh wait, was it this one? No. That one looks like he's walking. But it's similar. It's similar. I forgot what I was looking for, y'all. I got distracted. I feel like this might have been my reference, but I just didn't know how to do smiles. Because I can't find it. How did I find the original? Where did I find the original? Wait! You guys want to know something funny? I probably have a video of them performing this song in these outfits on my Google Drive. Because I went to their concert. You guys want to see if I have it? No, actually no. Because then you can hear me screaming and singing along and it's disgusting. Also, it's DMCA, so let's just keep looking for this reference photo. Let's just keep... I think this might have been the reference. I just didn't know how to draw a smile. I think he looked more serious. Just wait. We're gonna do something. We're going to make the photo bigger. Okay. And then we're gonna shrink it. Okay. This is proof I didn't trace it, by the way. But that's not it. Okay, I think this was a reference. Because the pose kind of matches. Unless he, like, stopped smiling at this exact moment. Okay. Delete layer. Okay. Okay. So, here's what we're gonna do. We're going to open image, a new tab. Right? We're gonna do that. And then I'm going to not do that. I'm going to do that. Okay. There, now you guys have the reference. You guys have the reference. Except I can't have it that big. You might be wondering, Cherry, where did it go? It won't let me fix it. Oh my goodness, what happened? Oh my gosh, what is this? Wait, what did I click on? What the? Okay. Not me. Okay, there you guys go. You can have the reference. See it, but it was like a giant window on my OBS that just wasn't showing up. Okay, so we're gonna use pink. That's closest because I don't want to use green. For one, the face shape isn't that bad actually. Honestly, it's not that bad. Good job, past me. You did pretty decent. But if we do this, it does kind of look a little funky. It does look a little funky. We're gonna use this crayon instead. Cool. So, these are our guidelines, right? Right? These are the guidelines. So, let's see. The nose is definitely too, like, out. So this one, a lot of the problem does come from my line art and from the shading. It's not that much in the actual design, if I guess I could say. Like, I did a pretty decent job, but a lot of it is in, like, the shading and such. He does have, like, they're like little hearts. I like this, like half hearts for his nose. And again, like his eyes. I don't need to do the line work for the bottom. So you could just do like that. That was something that Solar Sans mentioned. He was like, oh, you don't have to line the whole eye, just the bottom. Just the bottom. And this I still struggle with, but how I fix it is I just put eyelashes. That's literally how I fix it, but he doesn't really have eyelashes. If you look at the reference, he doesn't really have eyelashes, but that's okay. That's okay. We still love him. I'm sorry. But yeah, so like, there's that. And so he's kind of smiling. So, why did I choose orange? I said I was gonna choose green. Let's go with blue. Let's go with blue. So he's like, I need to zoom in on this. He's smiling. Kind of like that. Like, that's kind of how his mouth is going. See? And I would just do that. And then, again, you don't have to do the whole line for the lips either. I never do. So now we have it like this. See how this looks a little better? It doesn't look like him. He does have like a little smile thing here. I don't know what it's called. Like, yes. I also forgot the other people. That's okay. So yeah, so look. He's smiling. It doesn't look too much like him, but it's a little better than this. Right? And then his face... He's got... how do I describe it? He's got like round cheeks. He's got round cheeks. Ignore the song. So like his cheeks are kind of like that. They're like, they remind me of an apple. Does that make sense? Do you guys understand what I mean when I say his cheeks look like an apple? I hope so. I hope you guys understand that. And then he's got a jawline that, like, you understand? Thank you, KJ. Thank you. So I'm not going to fully line the jawline when I do the line art, just because it just looks weird. Also, I feel like I made his chin a little too short. I feel like it goes a little longer. But see, oh my gosh, it's looking a little better. Is it just me? It doesn't. Let's moment of truth. Actually, it doesn't look that bad. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna be honest. When I started the stream, I was like, you know what? What if I like completely embarrass myself, where I can't fix the art, and the redraw just looks worse. But like, it's low-key coming out really. I wish you guys could see. Well, I say that as if I can't just turn on my camera. But like, if you guys could see my movement, you guys know I talk with my hands a lot. And I am moving my hands a lot. But yeah, and then his ears. So I'm just gonna do this so I can follow the pathway. So his ears kind of do go down. So his ears would kind of be down here. Like if you follow the curvature of his face, kind of. They don't stop up here. They like curve downward because of the angle. Does that... That's something I do tend to forget. And then his ears, they're like that. And then his neck is a little longer. And then he does have this, and then like this. So there, we have a little bit of J-Hope. It does look a little like Jimin, which I think it's because I made his face too short and too wide. So, to fix that, we are going to go like this. Right? Because I do think I made his face a little too short. His face is a little longer. Or do I need to just move his... I think I just need to move this part a little lower. Not too low, too much. But like that. Just a little bit. He does have a longer face. Which isn't bad. Not saying it's bad or anything. So then we could just like delete that and delete that. So like there. I think I made his eyes a little too wide for his expression. You know? His eyes aren't that wide. But yeah, there we go. What else? I feel like I should be talking about some stuff. But I mean, I'm just talking about the art mainly. See, I still feel like it looks like Jimin. I think it's the lips. I think the lips are what are throwing me off. Let's see, if we delete this part, does it look like... Well, it does look weird, because he doesn't... It looks like he doesn't have lips. So, his... I like that. Kinda like that. Okay, that looks a little better. Right? That looks a little better. And then it's like weird seeing it with that and then like that. That's like really throwing me off. So he has a skull, which is good. That is something people need. You know? Which is something, and I did forget this as a younger artist. It's something people forget. You'd be surprised how many people forget that skulls exist. Like, it's surprising. Because then some people just like immediately go straight to doing this. Or like they start I accidentally pressed C. They like start too low, I guess you could say. Or too high? I don't know. But yeah. You do have a skull. And so there is a bit of a... There's more to the head. And their foreheads are also something I used to forget. I used to forget people had foreheads. You know? When you do the hairline, it's not gonna be down here. It's probably gonna be up here. That's... Oh! Eyebrows! I was like, what am I missing? I'm missing his eyebrows. Eyebrows are also important. My first OC, she did not have eyebrows. Wanna know why? because I forgot she had a forehead, and so her hair would literally cover her eyebrows, and so I was like, oh, she has eyebrows. Oopsies. Oh yeah, there was a thunderstorm today. So I was sitting here, right, eating before I went to class. Sorry. Let me respond to my friend. So I'm like sitting here eating before I go to class, and I hear it rumbling, right? And I'm thinking, oh, it's just a plane passing from above, right? Because planes usually pass above where I live. So I didn't think too much of it. I thought, oh, it's just a plane. It's fine. And then it just keeps going, and it keeps happening, and I'm like, okay, this is a little weird. Like, they're usually not this loud and this frequent. So I text my friend, and I'm like, hey, are you at school? Like, do you hear rumbling? Oh no, I text him, are you at school? And he's like, no, but I'll be there in 30 minutes. Are you in the thunderstorm? And I'm like, there is a thunderstorm going on? And he's like, yeah, there's thunder and lightning. I'm like, oh, that's that rumbling sound? That's what that was? So his hairline is kind of like this. It like curves a little. But yes, this is about, it's a little more curved. This is about what his hairline looks like. Now compare this to this. Like, you guys see the difference this is? So yeah, I think that's also a thing. I made the head too big. Like, the head is a little too big. Sorry, responding to my friend. But yep. So, I don't know. I was gonna do this as like, we could learn together. But I feel like I'm just redoing my art, which is fine. Also, like, the hairstyle, I don't know what I was going with this. Like, I don't know what this hairstyle was supposed to be. It's like, if you were to, so let's say this is the center point where all the hair goes to, right? So it goes like this, and then it looks like this part is like that, and then it goes like this, and then it goes like that, and then it looks weird. Okay? But that's okay. So then we have this now. Okay, so now we move on to the outfit. Sorry if you can hear my phone vibrating. My friend is texting me. So the outfit. So he's got like a turtleneck. So the turtleneck will start like up here. And it's got a little curve, but it's not that curved. Right? And it goes up here. Let's use a different color, because we're moving on to a different part. So let's do this. So it goes kind of like that. There we go. Look at that. And it goes... It doesn't go like that. It kind of curves down and then out. To give that... To show that it's on his neck. Well, this side, no. This side does kind of just go out. And then it curves out because it's like the collar piece. Right? We should give him hair so he doesn't look like Jack Manifold. You know? That would be smart. But we'll give him hair in a little. I should probably do anatomy. Because if we don't, it's gonna look a little weird. So his shoulders go down a little, as you can see, because he's kind of leaning. He's kind of leaning like this, where he's at an angle. So this shoulder is going to be lower than this shoulder, where this one's going to be higher. As you can see. Which I think I need to lower this one a little more. So this one's going to be lower, and this one's going to be higher. And then his body is kind of straight-ish compared to the rest of him, like his head. So we'll just do this. We'll just do this, so we can get like a sense of where his chest is, I suppose. Which this is also at an angle in a way. So there's that. And his arm kind of goes out a little. And so does his other arm. But this one is angled slightly. So it's like about here where his elbows are. Which that arm is a little too skinny. Let's do that. There we go. So this arm is a little curved inward because he's moving it. It's a little in front of his body because he's moving his arm back and forth while his body is in front of this arm. Because again, he's moving his arms back and forth. Right? Yeah, I see that. Yes. Which I think I made his body a little too small compared to the rest of him. Now, if you're wondering, Cherry, how do you figure something like that out? So, this is what I learned. This thing called forced perspective, which I should be using. Okay? So, we're gonna copy this image. Okay. Now we're just gonna do that. Right? We're gonna do that. We're gonna move over here. Back to here. Okay. So there's this thing I learned called forced perspective. Now we're gonna learn how to do it here. Okay? So it's a little different in terms of when you're doing it digitally like this, but we'll just do it. So let's say this is my measure of unit, my unit of measure. So let's say I'm measuring from the top of his head to the bottom of his head, right? I could have made like a box. We'll do that. We'll make a little box, right? To make it even. So box, we have a box, right? So this is our reference, right? So we know that this box is the size of his head. So let's bring over the box to here, right? And so we know that his head can fit into this box. So we're gonna fit his head into the box. And look, it does. It fits into the box, right? Which means that we did it correctly. We have our unit. Okay. Also, okay. So, now, everything is in reference to this box. So, for this one, this piece right here, this part starts one head below. So it's the size of the head, of his head, up until this little piece. So what we're gonna do is go here and say, okay, well now we know that right here is where that strap should be. Right here is where the top of that strap is going to be. The top of this little piece here. Does that make sense? You guys get the flow? Get what I'm saying? Right? So that's forced perspective. I don't know if it's called forced perspective. It sounds correct. So we're just gonna go with that. Okay? And then we know that, like, let's say this is half, about a third of the way is where his shoulder is supposed to be. So this is half, so this is a third. So yeah, his shoulder is supposed to be there. His shoulder is around where it's supposed to be. And then the same over here. We know that closer to the top is where his other shoulder is. And so right here, oh, it's not. Which means his shoulder is too low. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna fix that. See, so now his shoulder is a little closer to the top. I think, yeah. So that means we just adjust. There we go. So now it's a little better. Okay? And then his shoulder ends right where, like, a third of his jaw is. Right in the middle of his neck, about. Right? So then, and I realized my box I kinda drew on the layer of my box. That's okay. We'll just make a new one. Make a new layer. We kinda want the correct size of the box. Let's choose a different color. Let's choose this color. Okay, so we want this to be the size of the box. Okay. There you go. Ooh, let's not angle it. Okay. So, we know that the end of his shoulder is supposed to be halfway to his neck. But his halfway to his neck is right here. Halfway to his neck is right here. So, that means we have to move the box there. And his shoulder should be over here. His shoulder should be over here. Which means we made his shoulder too short. So, I have to fix that. So, we're gonna do it like this. And there! Now his shoulder is where it's supposed to be. Now let's move on to the other shoulder. So his other shoulder ends a little further than halfway. So around a third of his neck, we'll say. We'll say that's a third of his neck. So then we'll go to where a third of his neck is, so let's say right there. And okay, we were pretty close. We just needed to make it a little longer. So we're gonna go in, wrong layer. We're gonna go in and make it just a little longer. Right? There we go. And it does kind of go a little past. So now, we have the correct proportions for his shoulders. Does that make sense? I hope it does. So that's basically what I learned in art school. So, we messed up the shoulders, right? What is this supposed to be? Okay, it's that. And that's that. And this is that. Okay. So now, we want to figure out where his arms are. Or how big his chest is, I suppose. We'll do that. That's not what I meant to do. I clicked so wrong. That is, again, not what I was meant. What? So, let's see. We'll start here. Right? So let's turn this layer on. So, here's his shoulder. Sorry. Here's his shoulder. And here is where his chest starts. Right here. Let's do it on a new layer. So here's where his like chest, torso area starts, right? So we could go over here, move, not that, where's the stupid layer? Oh, that's why. I had it on the wrong thing. So we'll go to the shoulder, right? So that's where the shoulder is. So now the chest is going to be like around. Yeah, around here. So like around here. This is about where he's gonna have his torso. I keep saying chest, but it's more his torso. Right? I feel like I did this wrong. This looks wrong. We'll fix it. So we're gonna fix it a little. And then we're gonna go to the other side. And not do that. Do that. Go to the other side. Kinda try to match up where it's at. You know? And so we're gonna go over here. You can see that it kinda goes like that. Kinda. See? Okay, that looks a little better. But yeah, that's basically how you do that. It's confusing. I know. Now try doing it with the pencil in your finger. With an object standing away from you. But basically, what you're supposed to do with this, and how it's supposed to look, is, basically, let's say an object is over here. So object A is over here. It's a box. And right here is your sketchbook. So you want to draw this into your sketchbook. So what you do is you extend your hand all the way, as far as it goes, right? And you have your pencil, and you use your thumb to indicate a spot on your pencil, and this is the same size as this. Okay? Okay. And then on your paper, let's say we start the first part. Okay? So that's our reference size. This size is the same as this size, which is the same as this size. Okay? And now let's say there's an object next on top of object A called object B. Okay? So now what we do is we take our little pencil, we take our hand. We take our hand. Let me redo that. We take our hand, and then we move it. We move it, right? And we're like, okay. So, we know that this size is the same size as that size. So we move this up so that it lines up with the bottom, and we're like, okay. So it looks like it's half of the size. About less than half the size. Then we go over here and we're like, okay. So we know that half of this is going to be the size of object B. So we know it's going to be like that. Because it's less than half the size. So yeah, that's basically what it is. And it sucks the further away the object is, because then you have a smaller reference point. And then you just reference based off that scale. But yeah, that's what you guys need to know for that. I learned that in art school. Now you don't have to go to art school. But yeah, so like compare this sketch, and you know what? Save yourself time and eye strain, and just don't do that. Make your background gray. Trust me, it helps a lot. It does kind of look funny once you do it, and like you can't really see this. But like compare that to the blinding of that. Like it is. I'm gonna leave it white just because it looks better for the eyes on the actual drawing. But like compare, and we're gonna put all these layers in a folder. Now normally I don't put layers in a folder. We'll just shrink that just in case. Did I put it away? I did. I don't normally put layers in a folder just because I like the chaos of it. But compare that to this. Like, do you guys see the difference? I'm pretty sure I'm doing a different photo. Honestly, I feel like the photo I referenced isn't the same. But that's okay. Because we're practicing. But look, doesn't he look happier? Doesn't he look better? He is kind of bald, but that's okay. We still love him. So, we're not saving that as a JPEG. We're saving it as a Clip Studio thing. And then we're saving that as a JPEG. Yes, we're replacing it. Okay. So, I'm not gonna fully redo, just because that's a long time. You know? So now we're gonna move on to the next one. I don't think I'm gonna do this one today. This one's just a okay. Let's do this one. Cause this one, the shadows are definitely, something I need to work on. So, let's look up a reference. August D. I already knew. Yeah, this is the reference for that. Let's wait. We need the photo. Yeah. As you can tell, the shading is really throwing me off. Because I didn't want to shade with black. But I also, like, didn't wanna, like, make it too dark. As you can see, it's like, it looks more like he's bruised, than it does looking like shadows. So, a way that can be fixed is, instead of, so I normally, a lot of people do this where they color in and then they just multiply, right? And you could do that and it gives you the shadows, right? And you can like lighten it so it fits a little better. A lot of people do that. I don't. What I do is I actually go in and I blend the colors together, you know? Like that, like the loser I am. Which both of them have its perks. They honestly do, and you can see that here. You can see how different they are. I think if I had done the other method, it would have fit a lot better. Just because, like, then I could have done the darker shadows of the piece, and chosen a different color, because that just does not look good at all. Also can lower the opacity. See, look, that looks a little better. And then you could just like I know I said he looked like he was bruised, and I'm using purples, but that's okay. We could just like keep going, and you can add. You don't have to just keep doing it to that one. You can keep layering and adding. You know, you can just keep going. But yeah, that's like one way to fix lighting, and it's the same with highlights. You could do something similar with highlights. So let's say there's, or just like other lighting. Let's say there's a pink light coming from this side, and I want to reflect that. I want to show that there's a pinkish light on this side. You can do that by doing like, not add. Why did I do add? Where is it? What's... No. Soft light. You can do soft light where it's very... And oh, if you have Clip Studio Paint, you could just scroll. You don't have to click each one. You could just scroll. So that's dark. That's what is it? Darken, multiply, color, something. I don't know. Color burn, linear burn, subtract, lighten, screen, color dodge, glow dodge, add glow, overlay. Overlay is one way people do it. I think they choose darker colors. Or I just don't know how to do this. Yeah, we'll go with that. Soft light, hard light, difference, vivid light, stuff like that, you know? It just, the list goes on and on. But yeah, that's like one way you can go through and do coloring. I'm not really gonna redo this one just because I know I'm not gonna do it good. This one is just his face and the coloring, but I don't remember the reference. This one again, this is, I don't like how I did the shading on this one. Let's see if we can find it. Black Swan Jimin images. Do you guys see the Jimin? Oh, that one's like super. No, that's not what I meant to do. Okay, let's not do that. Google, not right now. Let's do it like this. Okay, that's somebody else's fan art. See, like they did way better. Do we have a more zoomed out version? That is just a GIF. That is not what I wanted. Good job to the artist here. Oh my gosh, it's on Amino. Okay, well, let's look for a better. That's a GIF. Nice. But this is basically what we're looking for. That, image. Which there's a lot of fan art for it, which is awesome. That it's a good scene. It genuinely is. But it's not what we're looking for. Okay, we'll just have to use this one, I suppose. I gotta say, I kind of do like the background. I do wish I did a little more detail, but I can see why I didn't. But like the corset. Let's look at the corset. So there wasn't much corseting going on, I guess you could say. There wasn't much with the corset that I genuinely wanted to do. So, let's move to the greens because there's a lot of greens here. So let's say this is the main color of the corset, right? You wanna, let's do this a little better. So this is the corset. ignore that it looks weird. Or it looks bad. Okay, so the corset, right? Now, I'm going to go with white, just to go in and, actually no, let's do a lighter version of this one, right? And do it with crayon, or design pencil, or whatever it is. So then we're gonna block out where the lines are going to be. So these are all the lines of the corset. This one is gonna be a little more this way. And then we're just gonna color over it. We're just gonna pretend it's not there. We're just gonna do that. There we go. And then this one too. This one can go a little more to the side. I'm not fully giving you guys like a tutorial on this just because I'm still learning on the way too. So I'm learning how to do this corset as well. Right? So we have this. So now we want to start blocking out the colors. So I'm not gonna go full white yet. But we know that there's gonna be color here. Some lighter colors. Here. And here. Kind of avoiding the lines so that we don't like smudge them. And it like kind of gets lighter as it goes up. But this one kind of still is very noticeable. Right? And then this side, it has a little darker. Is one? Sorry, it sounded like someone was knocking. And I was like, maybe someone has been knocking. I've just been talking loudly. But no. Apparently nobody was knocking. Did redesign your logo stop? Did I put my headphones on wrong? I did, and I also lowered the volume. Oh, excuse me. Cool. So we're just gonna like block out. We're just gonna block out colors. Sorry, it really sounds like somebody's knocking. And that's bothering me. Haven't gotten a text from my mates, have I? Nope. Just my friends. But yeah, just block out colors. We'll slowly go in and add more. I also want to try like a different colors effect as well. Because it's so shiny, we can go in and add different colors to show that it's got a metallic look to it, you know? Yeah. Just gonna go a little darker. Actually, let's get this one. And then just only slightly move it. So that it's still close to the original color. But it's not. Okay. I can't tell what's happening. There's a lot of banging going on. Not in that way. Like, a lot of loud noises. I don't know if you guys can hear that. But yeah. Okay, whatever. So cool, we're like just blocking out colors. Now we're gonna go in with the shadows. So I'm not gonna fully go. Let's go a little more bluish to give it that colder look. And I can't really tell like it did anything. Okay, there we go. So now we're gonna go in with shadows. And this shadow starts up here more. And it's more like this. Cool, cool. And then over here as well. This one's more on the edge. But it still kind of starts going in. And then there are parts where the shadows are also on these sides, but they're like lining the lines, the little pieces of the corset. No? They're showing the creases. And you can see that too. You can see as they go, then they start forming shapes. I feel like I should check on my neighbors. Be like, hey, you guys good? Everything okay? Nobody's being murdered, right? Then at the bottom there's like shadows. Again, outlining, kind of giving shadows to this line, showing that it is in fact casting a shadow and is 3D in nature, I suppose you could say. And it looks messy up close, but once you zoom out, it looks a little better. See? So you can go in and add. And they don't have to be consistent because it's metallic looking, it's very shiny. The blobs aren't going to be all the same. Okay? And then we can go in with a smaller and just like, again, redefine those lines. Kind of show that they're getting some light. They're going to be more prominent. They're going to be lighter because they're protruding, I guess you could say. They're gonna get more light, and as you go, okay, it's really bothering. It sounds like somebody's knocking. I can't tell. Like, really scaring me, guys. I'm low-key scared. Okay. But there. See? And then you can go in, add a lighter color just for the highlights. You know, it's not gonna be the full color, but it's gonna show spots that are getting a little more light, you know? Spots that might be a little higher. And then we're gonna go in with the shadows and show off spots that are a little darker. Spots that aren't getting light at all. And I feel like I should just be using black. Show that because of how dark it already is. Yeah. Nope, that's not what I meant to do. But yeah, see? Now compare that corset to that. that compared to that. It is still a little greenish. And wider. But I mean, there's a lot more... I feel like there's a lot more, shading. And then, like, even then, you could change the hue. Or you can mesh. If you don't want to erase, you can go to transform, mesh transform. And then like move that in a little. Move that in a little. There you go. You got yourself a little corset. This might be erased a little. There you go. And if you want to change the hue, you can. You can go to correction layer and then change the hues. You can make it more warm, more cold. So let's go like, let's go with this color. And then you can change the luminosity, the saturation, and you can apply it to only that layer. See? Change it. But there! And like, close up, it just looks like a bunch of scribbles and stuff. But like, if you were to have the full piece, you wouldn't be seeing it like that. You would be seeing it like this. You know? Let's save this as Clip Studio format. This is also just a color thing. So like, that's not what I meant to do. Okay. Let's ignore that the line art looks funky. We're gonna do our own line art, okay? So we're gonna redo the line art. We are going to make this canvas way bigger because this is way too small. Control T. We're gonna do that. Okay? We are just gonna do that. And then we're gonna do that. Cool. 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 Now we're gonna redo the line art. So I'm going to do it in this like purple color. Let's do purple. So we're doing a BTS drawing. So we're gonna do purple. You know, because it's purple. So we're gonna still add, I'm gonna still do the line art similar to how I did it before. So I'm gonna still add all in all the details, but I'm gonna do it a little closer to how I'm doing line art right now. You know? I don't actually know what the original reference for this picture is. Also, yeah, we're gonna need to fix the face. It is a little too angled, but I'm gonna do the line art and then I'm gonna fix the face, okay? It is a little too funny. It's a little too wonky. The first eyebrow I did is way too short and I'm just now realizing that. So we're gonna redo that one. Okay, actually, let's just completely work on that right now. Yeah, let's work on that. Okay, so it looks like his head is supposed to be angled. I don't know why, I'm able to do curves this way better than curves the other way. Okay, so his face is angled this way. Right? So his eye is here, and his other eye is here. Now, let's say this is the size I want the eye to be. Eyes are one eye apart, roughly. Okay, I did that pretty decently. Surprisingly, that came out good. I am going to do this. I'm gonna choose a different color so that I don't get confused where my lines are. Okay, so his head is kind of angled. It's not fully angled, so you can get away with having the nose straight, but it is a little angled to where you can do this. You can add a little line on this side that's longer, just to show, you know? What did I click? Cool. I also made this way too angled, so we're gonna restart. We're just gonna turn this off. And then I'm just following the original, honestly. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. I think this eye is, for what it is, the face does look a little too much to the side, like too angled. Cool. We should find the reference. Shouldn't we? No, it's okay. It's okay. Now, my power for my phone is gonna go out soon. That's okay. Now, I'm gonna do this. Cool. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. I guess I'm mainly doing this just so I could go over like skin color, skin tone. Like shading, how eyes shade skin. In a way. You know? So I feel like the mouth is a little too angled. We'll see once I fix it. So that looks a little better. I still feel like this eye is a little too short. Too short, too low. Compared to like how his face is angled. That is not what I meant to do. That's what I meant to do. Cool. Okay, that looks a little better. That looks a little better. And then he's got like a headband. So his neck is like about here. Let's say. Or maybe a little less. Okay. Again, he's got a skull. You know? This angle makes it hard to figure out where exactly that skull is. But we can rough sketch it. You know? We can roughly guess how it's gonna look. And I made it too short, I feel. I think I made his face too long. I think that's also a problem. I feel like that is a big problem as well. You know? Maybe his face came out a little too long. I have to see the reference, honestly, because I can't really tell what it is I did originally. Okay, but that's like a little bit. We should have just gone with the J-Hope one. Should have just colored the J-Hope one. But it is what it is now. So he's got a headband. Let's just color the J-Hope one, because I need a reference for this and I don't know what to search up. So we're gonna color this one. Alright? So I'm just gonna do the skin tone that I did here. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I like color selected it from the reference, but that's okay. I'm just gonna do roughly an outline of where the skin color is going to be. So that we could just so I could go over how exactly I color skin. Cool. Now we're gonna fix the skin tone because I feel like it looks a little too I guess we could go with that. I don't remember how his skin looks, and to me that looks okay. On my screen it doesn't look bad. Maybe a little more orangey, because it looked a little too red. Right? Nope, that is definitely wrong. Right? That's too light. I feel like how I had him originally. I think that's good. Yeah. Okay. So, usually before I start a drawing, I do this. So I get the skin tone, put it to the side. Now I get a blush, and I put it here. And then I kind of blend them together. And I color select that. That's the blush. Then I get a really dark brown. And I put it, and then I blend it. And I color select. And that's like the mid-tone, the dark tone, the shadows. And then I kind of blend those two. And that's the in-between. And then for the highlight, I don't go too light. And then I do the same. See? I don't really do multiple colors for the highlight. And then sometimes I'll add, like, I'll get the blush and I'll blend it with this. This way. To get like a redder tone. And then the same with this one. It depends on which one's your main color sometimes. To get a more reddish tone. Right? So first, I go in and I add blush. This is just like the main blush. Like here, and then here. Those are like the main spots I add blush. Sometimes I'll add it there. Right? Actually, before I do that, I usually duplicate my layer. Just so I can have, a reference to how I'm gonna... So that I can just like color outside the lines. And it won't show up. So I just go really hard on the blush. And I go like that, and there. Right? And then in my second color, I get the skin tone, and then I start kind of blending it a little. And that's not usually how I do it. That's how you do it. So I blend it a little. Sometimes the blush disappears. That's okay. Because then we just can keep going in with blush. So the main areas that I keep with, like, very noticeable blush is, like, more centered towards where the blush started. So, like, the nose definitely gets blush. And then the cheeks a little. And then the tips of the ears, that's the ear. Tips of the ears get a little more blush. And then I just keep adding and I keep blending, right? And that gives it, like, a living look, you know? So that's the blush down. That's like basic blush. Then I get my mid-tone and I start blocking out where the shadows are gonna be. And I should probably pull up the original reference. Actually, I closed it. So, yeah, his skin looks lighter in here than I did it here, but that's okay. So there's shadows down here. So we block out these shadows. Well, first we realized that this is here. And we also realized that the box is in the way. So we decided to take the box out because we're not dealing with the box area right now. The boxy areas right now. We're just dealing with the face. So we just follow and block out where the shadows are gonna be. Just like rough shapes. Right? So this is kind of like a Y. Then there's some more shadows here. Right? He's got some shadowing here. Some shadows here. You just go in and you add in shadows. It's okay if it's a little blocky, right? I again forgot his eyebrows, but that's okay. He can be eyebrowless for now. It's okay that he doesn't have eyebrows or hair. Okay, we're just gonna go in and do this. Okay, so now we have a general blocking. I like to go in, add some of the redder tones, give it a little less grayish look, you know, make it look less dead, I suppose. Usually these are towards the ends of the shading, like the outside of the shading. I usually like start on the outside of the shading and work in. You can kind of see, you know? And then again, in our second color, we add the skin tone and we just go in and blend lightly. I'm not pressing as hard as I did with the other one. And we're just gonna blend lightly, switching between the base tone and then the mid tone. And then you can like fix, like, oh, I put too much shadows here. There's not as much shadows, so I could just go in a little harder with the blender. And then, you know, just go in softly, blend it out. Blend out the shadows. Make them look softer so they're not as harsh. And some shadows can be harsh. You can leave some shadows harsh. I usually make them soft, and then I go in and make them harder again, or harsher. Once I get to the more detail section, once I add details and stuff, that's when I start like adding more stuff. And so you just switch between the two. Just like switch between the two colors, blend them out, you know. You don't have to fully blend everything, just a bit. But see, there's some shadows going on already. Look, you can start noticing like where certain features are. And then after we blend that out, we go in with that's the wrong keybind. We go in with the darker tone. Now this, I use a smaller brush because this is gonna be smaller details, right? So these are gonna be the smaller details. So like right here, it's a little darker with the line here. Now this is, I don't go block and then I blend. This one I blend and block at the same time. So this is where I use the lighter reddish tone, because it's like a little mid-tone. So you go in with that a little, right? And then I do in the lighter shade color, and then I blend in afterwards. But yeah, but you just add in the more details. The more detailed looks. We're gonna ignore his earpiece just for now. Just for now. I'm just gonna pretend it's not there. You know? So like we go in and do this. Then we blend it. We blend it a little. So it's not as harsh. Sometimes it blends a little too much. So we just add a little more, right? So like here, Here we definitely need it to be harsh because that's where the shadows are definitely showing. And then you just blend it a little. You add in a little more shadowing, a little more harsh. Blend it out, you know? His jaw is a little more chiseled, I suppose. It's more defined. What I meant to say. That's not what I meant to do. See, you can see his features a little more. But yeah. And like on his nose, this side is a little more. And there's here a little more. Then you just go in and add in this. See? Stuff like that. We can use this lighter one to define this part a little more. Define the bottom lip a little more, the shadow of the bottom lip. Do this. The little cupid's bow? Is that what it is? I don't know. But see, it's a little more. This is very rough because the sketch is kind of hard to tell where things are. But this is basically like what I do. Again, it's a little rough. And then we go in with the highlights. Now the highlights, I don't add too much. Just because I feel like I don't need highlights that much. But like, they're basically the parts where, like, am I using the right highlight? Which one's the highlight again? Okay, this is the highlight. They're usually so similar that I can't remember which one's which. Like, see, you just go in, add in the highlights, blend it out a little. Just highlight to your heart's content. And you just blend it a little so it fits in. It's not as noticeable. Just going a little lighter. Sometimes I make the brush smaller. And then you just add in the highlight. Sometimes I grab the other colors where the highlight gets a little close to the other colors. And I need to like blend it out a little to fit in, because sometimes the base color kind of undoes some of the coloring that I had done originally. So then I just like go back in and grab a different color. But yeah. I totally remember how it ear looks. But yeah, that's basically how I shade skin. And this is how it would look without the line art. You can see I messed up right there a little with the ear. So we can go get this. Define the ear a little more. You know? Maybe highlight it a little. Say, look, this is where the ear is. Shadow it a little. But yeah. As you can see, then maybe I can go in with the base and like fix it a bit. Maybe fix the shape. Fix corners that I might have cut. But yeah, that's basically how I color skin. Now look at that. Let's again make a folder. And that's with when it's not clicked. So look at that compared to that shading. Like this one, you could barely tell the shading. It's way too soft. And then that one, like, you can see where all the shading is. There's a lot more harsh colors, a lot darker colors. And like again, like I said with the green light. So see how there's like some green light. You can go in with the lime. This one you can use the airbrush too if you want. But I'm not going to. Actually, I'm gonna lower the size a bit. So this, he's got like green here. Here, I'm gonna change the green right now because I think I chose the bad green. It doesn't match the green too well. So there's green olive here. Cool. So then we're gonna fix it. I'm gonna change the green to... That is not what I meant to press. That green? I feel like that green. Maybe a little more blue. A little more... Maybe a little more yellow? No. Like that. I feel like that green. So then I am going to use the blender to like blend it out, make it look more light like. You know, make it less harsh, give it a softer look. Make it more faded. Just going in and blending it a little. And then you can lower the opacity. I think overlay is like the one people mainly use, right? Maybe not. We'll do not soft light. Hard light? We'll do hard light. But yeah. You could do that. And again, you could add more color. I feel like it's a little more bluish. You know, I feel like the light is a little more bluish. Maybe like that. But yeah, that's basically how I do skin tone and like lighting and stuff. That was actually my first time doing lighting like that. But yeah, I think that's going to be the end of the stream. Yeah, I hope you guys liked it. I hope this helped a bit. Yeah, I might finish these sketches, make them work, finish them, you know. But yeah, I hope you all have a great rest of your day or night or whatever time it is for you, and I will see you all next time. Bye!